Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse podcast. This is episode number 190. My name's Adam Patterson. Joining me today, as always, we have Kevin Rakestraw. How you doing there, Kevin?
Doing pretty good. Fresh out of the movie theater.
Fresh out of the theater. It's probably been a while since you've actually seen a movie in the theater, hasn't it?
It's Sicario.
Wow.
The last one.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
Been a while.
unfortunately.
Well, that movie that we're going to be talking about this week is Sam Mendes' latest Bond film, Spectre. That's going to be our only review this week. We'll also be talking about some of what we've been watching, doing movie predictions, new on video on demand, Blu-ray releases. Before we jump into some news, I want to thank our latest Patreon subscriber, Jacob Carignan. If you want to be like Jacob and be a cool kid and help support what we do at Film Pulse, you can go to patreon.com/filmpulse and send us some money. Send us a pledge for as little as $1 per month. We appreciate that so very much. You don't have to. It's still free.
I just appreciate that you just come out and say it. Like, just give us some money. If you
Well,
can.
I think
If you
honesty.
can.
I think honesty is the best policy normally. So that's how we do it. We're very honest. I mean, a lot of people think that these like crowdfunding things, it's just people looking to pocket money, but that's really not. That's really not the goal of our Patreon. I'm not pocketing any of the money. It's going right back into the site. Like, we have screenings to pay for, we have travel, we have hosting fees, all of this various things, and it would just be nice to have a buffer where we can cover that stuff, and that's where you guys come in. I would rather do that, have our readers and listeners and viewers support us, than have those ads that pop up that take up, you're reading an article, you're diving into a review or whatever, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's a full page ad that comes up and blocks what you're reading, and you have to click out of it. But sometimes the X is so small, you end up clicking on the ad itself and it redirects you to some bullshit page.
It just makes everything lag like crazy.
Yeah,
Or it just kills Chrome altogether.
It drives me nuts. So what I would love to do is just have our site be completely listener and viewer and reader supported. So again, patreon.com/filmpulse. We appreciate that so very much. Let's start off by jumping into some news. First up today, Shane Carruth's The Modern Ocean has its cast revealed, which includes Anne Hathaway, Keanu Reeves, Daniel Radcliffe, Chloe Grace Moretz, Tom Holland, Asa Butterfield, and Jeff Goldblum, along with Carruth himself.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, what do you think about this? What do you think about Carruth going somewhat mainstream for his next movie?
Oh, please. I want to see what he does. I don't care. I want to see what he does. Because it's going to be something. It's going to be interesting. At the very least, it's going to be interesting.
Obviously, we don't know too much about this movie. Now, we interviewed him a long time ago, and even back in that interview, he talks about this movie. This is a movie that's been kind of his baby for a long time. He's been trying to get this one off the ground for a really long time, but he's if you're familiar with him, he's kind of I guess he's kind of an auteur, really. He does everything. He likes to be in complete control over every aspect of his movies. And as such, he doesn't like studio involvement or anything like that. He likes to do everything himself. I mean, he even, when Upstream Color came out, he even distributed the damn thing himself.
Yeah.
So I think that he's really reluctant to relinquish any type of control over his films. However, this one, from what I understand, it's gonna require a much larger budget than he's ever worked with before.
It sounds like it. Does he want like full on naval battles?
Yeah, like giant, it's supposed to be some sort of high seas adventure. So yeah, he's gonna have a big budget with this one. So he ended up signing to a big agency to help facilitate that.
Yeah.
So I guess along with that comes a pretty impressive cast. So it's pretty exciting. I think that he will probably have all kinds of stipulations in any contract that he signs that still give him full creative control. So I'm not concerned about, the big studio taking over his movie and turning it into something that he doesn't want it to be.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned with that at all. So I think that this cast announcement's pretty great. It's got a lot of great people in it. Looks like a fairly young cast with most of the people.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. I can't wait.
This is ridiculous.
And I also like that he didn't wait, 7 years or whatever to get his next movie started. I think actually that's why it took Upstream Color so long, because he wanted to do this one after Primer, but it was taking so long that he ended up temporarily shelving it to do Upstream Color in the interim.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty exciting. This week, Duncan Jones was in the news quite a bit. So this is the director of the upcoming Warcraft movie. He also did Moon, and related to that, his upcoming movie called The Mute had a little bit of news come out this week. Now, this is another one that's been gestating for a long time. He's been working on this one for quite a while, but there's been some movement this week in that Alexander Skarsgård and Paul Rudd have signed on to be in the film, and it was also revealed that Sam Rockwell is going to be in it, and he's going to be reprising his role from Moon. So it's going to be taking place in the same universe as Moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is fantastic. Very excited about this. So Skarsgård will play Leo, a mute bartender in a dystopian Berlin, and Rudd will play a mysterious American surgeon. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be kind of a Blade Runner-esque theme, I think, or aesthetic, rather. I'm all about it.
I'm all about it. This is a good week of news.
Yeah. Well, there's some sad news that's coming right up after this.
Oh.
Clint Mansell will also be doing the score for this one. He's the same guy that did the score for Moon, which was a fantastic score, if you remember that. Very, very exciting. Very exciting stuff. I think that Duncan Jones has a lot of promise as a director. He's only had 2 movies out so far. He did Moon and Source Code, but I liked both of them quite a bit, especially Moon. So I'll be very excited to find out more about The Mute. Now, it should be noted that this is nowhere near getting off the ground as far as pre-production or anything like that. This is from a pitch that they're putting together, a sales package rather. So they're currently shopping it around, and adding Alexander Skarsgård and Paul Rudd and Sam Rockwell into the sales package makes it more likely to get picked up by someone.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, I'm sure that he'll be able to do it. Although I don't know, depending on the budget. If it sounds like it's probably going to require a pretty large budget, so maybe that's why they're doing this in the first place, rather than trying to just go right to investors or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Next up, Melissa Matheson, the screenwriter of E.T., passed away this week. She was 65. She also wrote the screenplay for Spielberg's upcoming adaptation of the Roald Dahl book, the BFG.
Mm.
So very, very sad news for that. Also, this is actually this just happened. I believe I just read about this morning. Gunnar Hansen, who played Leatherface in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, also passed away, and he was 68. So very, very sad news on that front. Man, the original Leatherface, he was just one of the most frightening, nightmarish characters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they never quite, at least in my opinion, they never quite nailed the character of Leatherface in any of the sequels or remakes. I don't know if it was his mannerisms, but I don't know. They never quite got it right again after Gunnar Hansen. So very, very sad news on both of those unfortunate passings.
Yeah.
New trailers this week. We have Warcraft. So I played World of Warcraft a bit. I was never like super into it like a lot of people, but I did play it, so I am familiar with it. And I gotta say, the trailer's looking promising. It looks pretty much exactly how I expected. It's very heavy on the CG. It's got that kind of Lord of the Rings vibe to it.
Yeah.
Where it's set in a fantasy world, but it also looks kind of gritty. I think it's promising. I think that maybe this is going to be the movie that kind of breaks the video game curse. I hope so, at least. But what I'm wondering is if they're going to try to turn it into like 50 different sequels or whatever. I don't want any of that. I mean, I'm sure they're looking to make it into a franchise, but
I'm sure.
I don't know. We'll see. Do you have any interest in Warcraft?
No.
No. A new Japanese trailer for Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out. I did not watch this because I'm gonna try to put the blinders on. We'll probably see more international trailers that have new bits of information and new bits of footage, and I'm gonna try to avoid all of that stuff. I heard that there are some new things in the Japanese trailer, but I'm actively avoiding anything Star Wars at this point until it comes out. One that I did not avoid was The Hateful Eight. Got a new trailer. I'm wondering if this was already planned or if this was in response to the whole Tarantino thing that we reported on last week. That's still going on, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's still happening. It's still in the news. What the hell? New trailer for The Hateful Eight's great. Makes me even more excited to see this one. Really excited.
I'm not that excited actually. I don't know why. It hasn't hit me yet.
You should check out the new trailer. Maybe that'll get you pumped.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
I think the new trailer might get you a little pumped. Another one that I'm actually really excited for is Spike Lee's new film, Chirac.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a great trailer!
Should I watch that trailer too?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to go into that one cold, but
we'll see. With this one, I didn't really know much about it, and so when the trailer hit, I was just like, oh, okay, well, I'll just give this a look. And man, I'm really excited about it. It looks like it's gonna be really not surreal, but maybe theatrical in that it looks like they're going to be breaking the fourth wall a lot, and it's going to be very stylized.
Yes, give it.
So I'm pretty excited for that, and it just judging from the trailer, it looks gorgeous. But we'll see about that. I don't know about Nick Cannon playing like a gangster though. That kind of
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But we'll see. Either way, I'm really excited for it. Finally, in trailers. Now, this isn't all the trailers that came out. These are just a few of the notable ones. Alice Through the Looking Glass.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I didn't know this was a thing.
I didn't either. I had no idea that this was actually something, not only that was being made, but something that is complete enough that they can make a trailer out of it. It looks terrible. I don't understand. I took a look at I watched this when I posted it up on the site, and I was just like, man, I didn't see the original one, or the Tim Burton one.
Yeah.
Tim Burton's not doing this one. He's producing it, but he's not directing it. So it's not even a Tim Burton thing, but everybody else is in it. Everybody that was in the original one, like Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter and Mia Wasikowska, they're all back in it.
Really?
But yeah, it looks... Really? To me, it looks horrible. But
sounds horrible.
Yeah. I don't know. All right.
I saw, are we done with trailers?
No, you can go ahead if you have more.
I have one trailer because I just saw it today, and that's the trailer for Moby Dick. I couldn't stop laughing. That movie looks like one of the worst movies.
It's not called Moby Dick, though.
I forget what it's called.
It's called like The Heart of the Sea.
Yeah, something like that. But good Lord, does that look awful?
Yeah, I have no interest in that.
Absolutely terrible.
Ron Howard's really hit or miss for me, but that does not appeal to me whatsoever.
And it looks god awful. I mean, of course it's a trailer, but every line of dialogue from the trailer was it was hilarious. And I don't really think that they were going for comedy.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think. I could be wrong, but I'm like 99% sure they were not going for comedy. But they nailed comedy. Fucking nailed it. That shit was hilarious. That's all I have. Silly trailer I saw.
viewer comments this week. There was only one comment that I wanted to read, and that's because it kind of brings up something that I wanted to talk about.
Uh-oh.
On our Nasty Baby review on YouTube, somebody by the name of Reek, I'll say Reek, it's Reiq, we'll call him Reek, said, quote, "Thanks for the spoilers, ... All right, I want to talk a little bit about how we do our reviews and how we approach spoilers on this show. We do everything that we can to avoid anything that would be considered a spoiler when we talk about a movie. Most of the time, we don't even do spoiler discussions, only if it's a movie that has like some really big reveals at the end or whatever. Then we'll do a spoiler discussion, but we always disclose when it's going to be. Sometimes we put it at the very end of the show, and sometimes we'll actually like section off something and put in the time codes.
Yeah.
But we always avoid spoilers. Now with Nasty Baby,
spoiler.
We specifically said
the synopsis
that we in the synopsis of the movie, and if you see the trailer of the movie at the end, they show something at the end that kind of infers what happens in the movie. But I do not consider what's in a synopsis a spoiler. I mean, you got to draw a line somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
I don't
so tired of people and their spoilers. Like, if you are really worried, like if you're gonna get upset if something gets spoiled, or that you're worried that that's gonna happen, then don't fucking listen or read reviews for the damn thing. Just go see the movie.
Yeah, just if you're not sure whether or not you should go see a movie, and
you should kind of know. You should. I mean, you're the only person that can know if you're interested in it or not.
And plus, the only way that you would not be spoiled, quote unquote, with Nasty Baby is if you literally knew nothing about the movie at all. Like, even if you're going through iTunes and looking for a movie to rent, the synopsis is right there. If you're looking on IMDb, which is where we read the synopsis, it's right there. You know, come on.
It's time people need to take ownership of their taste. You should know by now what you're interested in and what you're not interested in, and just go see it.
Yeah, just go see it. Or if you absolutely have to know what critics thought, just look at the Rotten Tomatoes score. If it seems like a reasonable score, don't read any of the reviews. Don't read any of the little blurbs. Just go see it, and then read the reviews and see what other people thought. See if your opinion about it, differs from theirs, or maybe you missed something that they saw or whatever.
Nah, we're just
like when I read reviews, I always do it after the fact.
Oh yeah.
Unless it's a review that I'm actually editing for the site, in which case I don't have much of a choice. But I always read reviews after the fact, so I can see if there was
because it's just interesting to see what other people picked up on them.
To me, it's almost a conversation, like a discussion piece.
Yeah. I don't understand people that read reviews before they see a movie. I don't understand that.
Well, I think by and large, a lot of people read reviews as kind of to see if they should bother paying money to go see a movie. And
like you said, nowadays you have so many things. Metacritic, you go see what the score is on IMDb, what the Rotten Tomatoes percentage is. You probably or some letterbox group or Facebook group.
Yeah. Just look at if you want to know what a good community score is, look at the letterbox ratio and see how many people are giving it like 3s and 4s and 5s. And just
the easiest thing is, number one, you're probably following people that have somewhat similar taste to you. You just go into like the watch section of it, where it just shows the little avatar of them and their name, and then just what their star rating was. It doesn't show any review or anything like that. And it's just a whole list of them. You can just scroll down through and see what you're working with.
Yeah, and I think that works better. If you go to Letterboxd, that works better than an aggregate site like Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic, because again, we've talked about this a million times, but those aggregate scores are not nearly as accurate as what most people think. If a movie has 87%, people are going to think, well, like, oh, that's a brilliant movie. That's like,
Yeah,
that's awesome. But it's 87% of critics gave it a fresh score.
Yeah, and then you got to consider too, like you don't get to like cultivate, who you're looking at here. I mean, it could be 87%.
87 Peter Travers.
Yeah, all these people, all these film critics that have the exact opposite taste of you.
Right. Yeah, and again, that 87% could have been 87 out of 100 critics gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they all loved it. So that's why I think, Letterboxd, look at the scores of the people that you're following if you're not sure if it's going to be worth seeing or not. But if you read a review or listen to a podcast that has a review, I stand by our statement that we do not spoil movies. If there are big twists, if there's something huge that happ's at the end.
Yeah, because I didn't say,
we're not going to say what it is.
We didn't say who died. I mean, it's pretty easy to figure out what's going to happen. But
in Nasty Baby, it wasn't even about that. That's the thing. Like, that movie...
Well, that's the other thing that kind of bothers me. Like, you could go ahead and just spoil every movie for me. Because I don't really care. I want to see how it's done. I'm still going to be interested in to see the execution of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like seeing a documentary where you know that's what happens.
Yeah.
But you still see it just because of everything else.
Yeah.
Like, you may know what happens in Nasty Baby, but you don't know the circumstances. You don't know what leads up to that, and you don't know how they execute it.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. So if you're only interested in narrative, then you should be reading books.
Yeah. Or again, actively avoiding any reviews.
Pattersons. You get your James Pattersons. They got like 800 of those. Pick them shits up.
There's a lot of those.
He comes out with one every week. True story.
Yeah.
Also, I feel kind of bad for judging this person, or like we just went on a tirade of like how you should be.
Well,
you don't have to listen to us. You can do whatever you want. It's your life.
Yeah, but there was this one person's comment, but it was something that I wanted to discuss because I think it's like an ongoing thing. The whole spoiler thing. It's a never-ending thing. And I don't know if we've ever really talked about our specific procedures and policies when it comes to avoiding spoilers.
I remember on Letterboxd I wrote a review for Whiplash, and I just I started off with like there should be a moratorium on the T-bone collision in movies.
Oh,
and it was like fucking spoiler, dude. And I'm like, that's not even that's like a small thing in the movie. How's that a spoiler?
They wouldn't know that that's a spoiler. They wouldn't know that that's a spoiler unless they saw the movie.
Yeah, which is just
and by that point, it's not a spoiler anymore because you saw it.
I don't understand.
Yeah, well, at any rate, if you're not familiar, if you haven't listened to any of our reviews, like the one you're about to listen to, we're not going to spoil it.
I'm going to spoil within the first 3 seconds.
If it's in the synopsis, it's not a spoiler. Sorry.
Hey, guess what? Bond makes it out. Surprise.
Spoiler.
Villain dies. Bond wins.
Anyway.